Good morning, noon, and night, people. Welcome back. Hey, we're here to talk about what game should I buy? And the game of the day is this bad boy right here, Citizen Sleeper. Truly, one of the greatest games I played last year. And I thought we cannot go without talking about this little gem. So, let's dive into it a little bit. Dove into it? Whatever, we're gonna talk. Alright, you, me, right here. Real quick, before I hop into the whole discussion of it, just want to let you know a couple of upcoming things for the channel. Number one, this weekend we are posting a God of War on the Happy Hour Power. Okay, it's going to be an episode, soft reboot. Unfortunately, Scout will not be there. My partner in crime, he is having himself a baby. And by him, I mean his lovely wife. That's right, he is not birthing a baby. I don't know which end it would even come out of, but the point is, it's going to be me and my lovely lady, Sova. We'll be recording our first episode. She's a little nervous. I'm excited. I love the game as well, God of War. So come check that out on the podcast, Happy Hour Power, that we're doing. I'll try and post the audio on here as well, see if we can get something to go with it for those of you who are tuning into the YouTube channel. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about this grand game, Citizen Sleeper. Now, Citizen Sleeper, I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Citizen Sleeper is an indie game where it's almost a visual novel storytelling style game where you get to pick the outcomes, right? Like a choose your own adventure, but in a cyberpunk style world. It's a beautiful blend. You can see down here the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little dots. These indicate different dice rolls that you get throughout the game. So as the game plays through and each day you start, you get different dice rolls that will affect your ability to do certain things, to move the story along, to get bonuses, to learn more about your character in this mysterious world. He's living on like a halo ring, and it's sort of one of those dystopian corporate nightmare scenarios where the corporation owns everything, and you're just trying to figure out how to make a living out here. It's so fun. And I absolutely adore the D&D style dice roll stuff that they fit into it. So let's talk a little bit about Citizen Sleeper. Since I've got my live drive right here, we're going to pop open their Wikipedia and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the nitty gritty. It came out last year and it's considered a role-playing video game by a company called Jump Over the Age and published by Fellow Traveler. Fellow Traveler is an interesting company as well. I'll tell you a little bit about them. The designer is Gareth Martin, who is actually a really great story writer, so that explains why it's almost visual novel, like I was saying. And you are a sleeper in the game, so you're a human whose mind was digitized and put into a robot body, and, like I said, controlled by an evil corporation. So this is kind of the general broad overview of it. I will say it just recently came to PS4, PS5, but it was already available on Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PC, all that good stuff. So, let's hop over to Fellow Traveler now and see what they're doing. Oh, my my mouse has been giving me trouble today, so I'm sorry, folks, about that. There we go. Alright, so here we go. Citizen Sleeper. Love the art style here too. Can't go wrong with that. Role-playing in the ruins of interplanetary capitalism. Here's a little video of some idea. You can see these different tasks that you have to figure out. Oh, is it safe to do this? Is it dangerous? I don't know. And there's a little bit of a skill tree too, so you can kind of get better at certain types of tasks. And there's all sorts of interesting characters. Lots of good reviews. I love the art, as you can see. It's well crafted, almost like a comic book, kind of like Saga or something. And you can see there's the reviews, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Everybody loves it. And sci-fi is one of those genres that I always wanted to love it, but I've struggled to get into it, Outside of Star Wars, it's been like, I don't know. I tried to get into Star Trek. I tried to get into, what was that one? The Abyss. I tried to get into The Expanse. all these different things. Even Big Bang Theory, it wasn't quite it for me. But then every once in a while they will hit. Like Star Wars hit when I was a kid, and then Mass Effect series hits really hard for me. I love that. And then now Citizen Sleeper's come along, blow me out of the water. They even have DLC out now. So for those of you who have played Citizen Sleeper, I definitely recommend check out the DLC because they're pretty unique. And they'll throw you off your game a little too. So this is Jump Over the Age's website, the developer, right? I'm going to show you Fellow Traveler's website because they're really cool. Oh yeah, another little fun fact before we talk about Fellow Traveler. Jump Over the Age is literally just that Gareth Martin person. One person game development studio. Amazing world builder. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know. He also was a writer at Rock Paper Shotgun and some other like video game magazines, stuff like that. Anywho, cool thing about these guys here, Fellow Traveler. Let me show you some of the games they put out, just to give you an idea of the style. It mentions like freedom of tabletop RPGs. There's definitely that element with the dice rolls and things like that that you get. But Fellow Traveler has put out some really cool indie style games, so I recommend you check out their website. Paradise Killer, I'm actually playing that right now. Very fun, sandbox kind of sleuth detective style thing. In Other Waters, this was the first game that Mr. Martin made, and he published it through the same studio. And it's where you are a astronaut exploring an alien planet, kind of like Subnautica, right? But without all the crafting. That is one thing that I like about Citizen Sleeper. You don't have to do a ton of crafting. You don't have to worry about combat. You're literally just telling the story, picking what storylines interest you the most, and then just putting your resources into it. There is a little bit of stress in that you never know what kind of dice rolls you're going to get, and things are time limited. Like certain events will happen in a predetermined number of days. So if you're one of those people who doesn't like working under a clock, like in Majora's Mask kind of game, that can be stressful. And I usually don't like doing that. I don't like feeling rushed in games, but it's not too bad. There's plenty of stuff to put into where you kind of get lost in the sauce. You're not just watching the clock tick down. Now, this game is a single-player game, so of course, you're not going to get any co-op or multiplayer experience out of it. It's really just meant to be a choose-your-own adventure, as I mentioned. And one that I highly recommend personally. I know I'm looking at In Other Waters here, but I'm talking about that bad boy Citizen Sleeper. So, I think that's the main gist of it here. Just came out. I don't know if it got any awards at the Summer Game Awards, but at DICE, which is like the developer conference. DICE is where a lot of the industry people who make the games, they will vote on their favorite games of the year. And this got Best Indie Game at DICE. So if that gives you any idea of kind of the technical achievement of it. I did a video on Disco Elysium a while back. And this does give me some Disco Elysium vibes in terms of the way the story is played out. So if you like that game, highly recommend it. If you like Mass Effect, if you like Disco Elysium, if you like visual novels and storytelling games like that type of gameplay, if you will, then this is it. This is one for you to absolutely check out. And look, if you ever suffer from insomnia, just give this track a listen. Give this right here, Matsutake, one of my favorites. Come on. You can't tell me you don't imagine yourself just floating around Mars right now. But yeah, that is Citizen Sleeper in a nutshell. And let me get you the price on that too, because I know you're going to want to know, right? Is it worth my money? Let's see. I believe it's $30, but I don't want to misquote you. Are you kidding me? $20? This game is a steal right now. Steal. Absolute steal. And let me tell you, you'll get a good 20 hours out of it, and you can replay it again and again. So it is replayable as well. Well worth the $20. 100%. I give this game a 10 out of 10 for what it is. It pushes the boundaries of the genre. It is unique. It is the efforts of someone who's really dedicated, and it's continuing to expand. Alright guys, as always, thanks for tuning in on this episode of What Game Should I Buy?